So I made a lot of stops at the Agawam Flea Market. I only did about half last time. This is the other batch. I found one guy who had a bunch of Fantastic Four, and I don't read Fantastic Four, but I do like the Inhumans. So anytime I see some, the Inhumans make a lot of appearances in Fantastic Four. That's why I look at Fantastic Four. So I actually found 2 different issues. One is from '88, I believe. Another one, yes, and the other one was I think it was '96. And they both have Black Bolt on the cover. It's essentially the same thing of Black Bolt having to fight the Fantastic Four. And one's an annual. It's from the Evolutionary War, which is one of Marvel's early events, we'll call it. And I don't remember if that's the Thing or a different The Thing, because he's changed a few times. But the team had a replacement of Thing with more craggly rocks, or someone decided drawing it differently. But there's High Evolutionary right there. And there's Crystal on the team. So, I mean, I'll get this not for the Fantastic Four themselves, but I'll get it for the Inhumans content, which recently has been gaining popularity because it got released that they'll have a movie later on from Marvel. And one of the characters from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was revealed to have been an Inhuman. Well, I'm not saying who. It's one of them. But I've liked them the whole time. I'm not some bandwagon Inhuman fan. I'm not saying there's a problem with that. But maybe if I pick up any doubles, I'll see if friends are interested in them, or maybe if I want to resell them or not. But it's a cool thing. It's a little bit older. Not super aged. But one of the neat things about comics is that you could tell what's going on in the time that they're printed. So it's Sue Stormer's starting to show some skin. She's got some bare shoulders going on. And Reed grew his hair out and stopped shaving, and he's picking up a beard. It's because comics had to start being gritty. They have to get deeper, and they have to be a bit more dark. And someone beat up Karnak and Medusa. Crazy. Yeah, but that's it with those, really. It's neat seeing them as a sign of the times.
That one had a good comic smell to it.
Sometimes they get musty. Marvel 2-in-1. One of the things Marvel was doing in the way back was renaming things or reprinting them under different titles. So if you get a comic, you might think you have Spider-Man. You actually have Marvel Tales featuring Spider-Man. So this is Marvel 2-in-1 was almost to combat DC's World's Finest or Brave and the Bold, but also feature other stories. So this one is neat. I like Machine Man, so I picked it up for the Machine Man stuff, but it's also a 2-issue, a 2-part series where they also have to fight Ultron, and Jocasta wakes up Ultron. And I hear Ultron's going to be the new Avengers movie.
Rumor has it.
It's titled Age of Ultron. So I'll read it, see if I might keep it or not. I might see if someone wants to buy it off me. But this was the kind of thing, the guy had a lot of them. And they were in a bag that was in a tote. And it was more like tote digging. And there was no order to it at all. It was kind of frustrating. Because I would dig through that tote.
Ooh, wow. These are real musty.
You got hit by
that offended my nose.
And it's for stuff that you want to preserve, when you get it, it's going to go in your nice box and go in a bag and everything, and it's going to get filed. To see them at flea markets just tossed around practically, just picked up and waved by the stack, and I just wince. But
they're in a good home now.
Yeah.
They'll be taken care of here.
True.
They're among friends.
That's my hope. They'll go with other Machine Man and Ultron issues. The same thing of stuff being in a box. I've said it before. There's stuff that I buy if it's part of a series because I want to eventually someday combine them with the rest of the series. Like Secret Wars here, which is number 5. I only got 4 issues. The guy had about 20.
I thought these were all different issues. That's why I was going to fan them out.
It's the same issue. Again, like I said before in the past, for a Maxi series, I'll get when I have the opportunity, I'll try and get a bunch so that someday I can combine them into the full series. Like if I find a random issue of Watchmen, I'll get it because someday I'll get all 12. Or there's only 12, right? I think so. And like this, there's 12, and then Crisis on Infinite Earths, there's 12. So at some point, I can sell the set. I have number 5 booked up right now. I don't have to get any more number 5.
You're good on 5
for a while. Yeah,
stocked up.
Yeah, but Secret Wars, it's like one of the classic tales. It's one of those things where the comic book historians it's one of the things they point out in the scripting and the dialogue, how there's only like 3 periods in the entire series because everything ends in an exclamation point or in a question
or an ellipses.
Or an ellipses. Yeah. And like there's a lot of words going on here because there's a lot of stuff to explain and a lot of like there's times where there's a lot of fighting but they're still talking during the fighting. It's like, Enchantress, will you shut up please? I just picked her because it's word bubbles. Women can talk all they want. Dr. Doom, will you shut up please? Anyway. And even then, Mile High Comics was a thing. But this is from the 80s or so.
The Galactus.
They have to stop him from eating whatever the planet they're on.
Old comics are beautiful.
So that was neat.
84.
I was just saying I was a little shocked because I realized you might remember this one. I don't remember. I'm a bad geek right now.
I love the back ads. They're so good.
It's a sign of the times.
And the camera thinks it's a face. It's like tracking it.
If these had been the issue that is the first Spider-Man black suit, that I would have flipped out and bought every single issue the guy had because he wouldn't know it.
Is it the first black suit Spider-Man?
Is
it?
There's controversy. Because do we want to talk about that or save it for later?
We'll get to it in an episode.
Okay. And then one of the last ones I got from that same guy, from compared to all the stuff they had a lot of, he only had this one of this. I've seen it before, passed on it, and kind of regretted it. And I like Professor Zoom. I like the Eobard Thawne Zoom, but I also like the Hunter Zolman Zoom. So because there's 2 of them, there's also like 3 Flashes. Once I started flipping through this, like, hang on, it's also a thick book too. Like,
it's bound.
It's not stapled. It's bound. And the entire thing is like a fight between Flash and Zoom. It's really cool. And they just go on and on and on. And like they talk and they talk. And there's a lot of fighting and a lot of speed stuff. It's pretty neat. I'm really glad I ended up picking it up. Because if I had known this was in it, I probably would have regretted it. As a fan of the character, Professor Zoom. So, and then like Green Lantern shows up later. So that was cool. I'm going to be proud of putting this in my Flash collection. I got more Suicide Squad because I'll add that to the Suicide Squad collection next. Sometimes you look at a book, you don't know what's going on inside. I happen to recognize this one because I happen to remember that there is a first appearance in this book. It's not like a super key first appearance. It's not. Some people wouldn't have any idea who I'm talking about anyway. It's a few pages in, but there's like a battle with Scarface and the ventriloquist. But here we have the first appearance of Renee Montoya, who becomes Detective Montoya, who becomes the Question, who doesn't matter because New 52.
Negated. All gone. But it's really a lot of people in our group have a special connection to Renee Montoya.
That she was a main character in a Batman stunt show at a...
That we all worked closely with.
Yeah. So that's neat. And maybe someday Renee Montoya...
Judgment Day. You can't beat it.
The Game Boy.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it wasn't this one. It was Flash. Had Mortal Kombat on the back.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Real good. Real good.
Mortal Kombat.
The original.
And again, like I said, I look for Fantastic Four because I'm looking for not Fantastic Four. I'm looking for the Inhumans. And here we have Crystal.
What's Lockjaw doing?
Lockjaw is like messing up Mr. Fantastic. Just chomping down. He doesn't often fight. He just sits there and teleports with his fork on his forehead. And Crystal's saying she's the most powerful Inhuman. And I was like, woman, please.
That's debatable.
You're not even in the top 8. Let's be honest.
She's messing up Johnny.
Well, that's not hard either. But only 20 cents too. I don't think the year is on there. But this is one. It's in pretty good condition. I'm not gonna take it out of the bag because that's not really necessary. But I think it looks neat. It's a fun cover.
And you can't beat old Fantastic Four logo, in my opinion.
JR really likes the font and the logo.
It's one of my favorites.
It's classic.
I love it. And I don't know, in a single issue. I just think it's really neat.
Were the Herculoids in that font too?
I don't know what
the
that
80s
is.
Cartoon. There's a cartoon from You Weren't Born Yet. And this was one of my favorites from the day of that trip. So normally I wouldn't get like one of the Army titles. I'm just not that interested in it. I like Nick Fury. I like Secret Agent Fury from S.H.I.E.L.D. Fury and the Howling Commandos. I could pass, and it's like a math for me. However, I saw it has the origin of his eye patch.
Can we discuss everything about this cover?
What's happening?
Is just classic comic books. You have the long title. Mm-hmm. You have the Nazis, of course.
He's so surprised his hat is flying off.
Exactly. You have, the arrow. At last. I thought it said alas. I almost freaked out. You have all these things like trying to grab your attention.
The exclamation
to this book.
point.
Yes. Read this book. This is the one you want on the newsstands. It's just classic Marvel. I love it.
Yeah. And like again, all the word bubbles.
Very wordy.
Back when like you had to read comics.
What's a full splash page? Never heard of it. That'll take me 6 months to draw.
But it's a neat thing. It actually his eye patch thing. I'm not going to spoil it. It's way in the beginning. It's like in the first 4 pages, which is neat. I've said it's neat a lot, but yeah, I'm proud of this find.
It's what they are. They're neat.
Yeah.
They might not be worth thousands of dollars,
no,
but they have cool things so you can say, check this out.
It's crackerjack.
And they're old, yeah. They're classic.
And one of the things you pointed out before was, where'd he go? Is Dum Dum Dugan kissing his bazooka?
You don't question what Dum Dum Dugan
Oh,
does.
Dugan. There he goes blasting that thing out. That's cool.
Just good stuff. They don't make them like they used to.
When you're at the flea market or wherever, a tax or something, one of the things you might have to do is like negotiate or check on something. I started looking at these. I was going to pass because he had a price tag on it. It was $75. Until you look at it for a while, and then the guy might come over and be like, "Oh, by the way, it's like half off. It's like just half price of sticker," which now it's more reasonable for me. I wasn't going to pay $70 for this, but the 4 of these I got for $40, which I felt was much more reasonable. It's
more than fair.
That was very, very fair, and not quite a flea market find. But I remembered I had this. It was in the bottom of a different box, and I got it from like a bulk lot that was an auction of older books. And I never looked at it before, so I opened it up today, and I realized it's really cool. And I was like, Jerry, you have to check this out because it's also neat. And it's like, it's the Marvel Guide to Collecting Comics. And it's like, what can you teach me about collecting comics? What could there be to learn?
Especially in 1980...
82?
82.
Yep.
I was -4.
I was
the second video in a row that I've pointed out my age.
It's okay. There's like a coffee ring on it and like a stain up here, but I don't care. This isn't one of those things that you get for value. This is a thing you get for like, it's not monetary value, historic value, and like just, this is what it's a basic page. There's a lot of text, a couple illustrations here and there, but like it gives you a rundown of a couple of things. Without this, all you would know about it is from word of mouth. At the time. Nowadays, we have internet, and there's dozens and dozens of websites telling you whatever you want to know about everything. You can look up, conventions throughout the entire world.
This tells you what a comics convention is. I'm going to bring it a little bit closer.
Read it for you.
For those that want to pause the video and check it out. It's
sometimes usually holding a hotel, it says.
It's a neat little booklet.
Yeah. And it's got a thing about, like, this is what the cover would say.
What the features are.
Yeah. Which I might want to check why this box changes sometimes.
Well, Alex, it's on many... It's hard to read upside down. On many copies, it's a space that contains the universal product code.
But sometimes it's just like the Spider-Man face, or it's blank. It changes.
What's right for me?
What I liked about that page was that it actually makes you aware of other companies, which was neat. It doesn't say just read Marvel. It says there's also Charlatan Comics, and there's also EC Comics, and there's also DC. And I was like,
Gold Key and Archie.
You advertise other forms of comics, and it's like that. I thought that was a really cool thing to do. And then
better than money in the bank. Did you guys know that you can get a Hulk 181, which is, everyone knows, the first appearance of Wolverine, for $25?
Well, that's what it's worth in this book.
Amazing Fantasy number 15, first appearance of Spider-Man. $1,100.
$1,100.
You want to bank that right now.
Which, to be honest, that's incredible. If you did get these and start saving them from what this says, we have to do like the math on this. Like, what is a percentage increase?
I don't even know. You're asking me to do things that are impossible.
Because like the Amazing Fantasy, I think I've seen it go for like 30,000 at least.
It's gone for many, many thousands.
And the Wolverine has been over 1,000 to sell. So that's pretty neat. Getting them is half the fun.
It teaches you how to care for them, how to bag them. This is an example of an unbagged comic. See how disgusting that is? Here's a bagged one. You can see the bag top, and it's in perfect condition. And Thor's running away.
He's not running away.
I know, he's
throwing his mighty hammer.
And then it teaches you don't box them like that. You don't stack them. You keep them in a nice box. It lengthens their life. It's neat, you know? It's the best word for it. I'm curious. We should ask Bob Rital if he has how many of these he has, rather. The owner of the world's largest independent or individual comic book collection.
He was a guest on our show just a couple months ago.
Very, very cool guy. I recommend checking out his site, Comic Spectrum. I kind of took over this thing because I like this thing so much. I apologize, Alex.
Take it. Go for it.
But like, look at, they're all just hanging out reading comics. That's what I expect the X-Men to do with Daredevil, I guess.
Colossus, get your feet off the comics, will you?
Right, like, he's just destroying them. Look at how much fun Nightcrawler's having.
It looks like a lot of fun.
It's like, I just want to hang out and read comics. And then Spider-Man. He's just, I'm stuck in the box. I can't get out.